Okay, it's the Christmas season. I think you all know that. What's more seasonal than vampires? Vampires. Yes, vampires. As I said in my Heroes pilot review, I am starting to watch Buffy, and my brothers were over and we watched the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, and we watched some of Fright Night, and me and my brother were just kind of talking about what I would do if I had control of an entire vampire movie or TV show. So this is just kind of my take on the vampire world and the vampire mythology that I would do if I had complete control over a book or comic or a TV show or something. First off, I would get rid of a few things. I would get rid of sunlight. I would totally get rid of sunlight. Because in the original Dracula novel, he can go out into the sunlight. It just kind of weakens his powers so that he's no more than human. He's not really anything more than human. It just kind of weakens his powers. It doesn't turn him to dust. I would also get rid of, vampires can't come into a house unless they're invited. That's stupid. That's a dumb weakness. I don't think, savage creatures of the night are really going to have that weakness. I know vampires are just kind of like the civilized monster kind of thing, but that's just kind of overkill. And I would add something that was... I haven't read the book in a while, but I believe it was added into the Bram Stoker's Dracula film. I would have it so that vampires could transform into anything. Like, in the Bram Stoker's Dracula movie, he transforms into mist and bugs and blood and anything. So I would keep that. I would also, for some occasions, for some vampires, I would also have, for some vampires, for vampires that have been turned from regular people to vampires, the person that was turned is still in fact good. If they were good, they would still be in fact good. They wouldn't just be a savage beast monster. But at night, they would kind of, as soon as lunar light hits their body, they would sort of transform into the vicious, pure blood vampire that was turned. But when they're the regular person, they're still pale. They still have all the weaknesses of vampires and all the strengths. They're just still that person. I would kind of have like a Jekyll and Hyde thing. That's kind of my take on vampires. I'll get to that later, maybe. I'm going to go into the vampire hunters right now. The vampire hunters, I would probably do... The vampire hunters can, unlike Buffy, or, say, Van Helsing, where there's just one vampire slayer, because that would just kind of be dumb, because there would be, a whole race. It would be kind of like Blade, where there's, a whole race of vampires living, underground. You're gonna need more than one vampire slayer. I would have it like a whole syndicate of vampire slayers. Kind of disguised in the regular day world. Kind of like maybe an occult club. And I would start the movie off with a guy just signing up for an occult club and ending up being a vampire slayer. Vampire slayers would generally just be the same as they've always been. Uh, with vampires, they'd have super speed, super strength. They'd also have great intellect. They'd also be really, really smart and very, very sophisticated. And they'd kind of talk like an old British guy. They'd kind of have that thick British accent, and they would just be really sophisticated. You can just have that, and whoever I played like the main vampire, I'd have him so that he would have that really creepy vibe on him, like the whole movie. To the casting of who I would cast if I made a Dracula movie, who would I cast as Dracula? I would probably cast Steve Buscemi as Dracula. That would be really cool. Buscemi would be cool, and I don't know who I would cast as kind of the tragic, turned vampire guy. Possibly Christian Bale. I'm not sure. So yeah, that's my take on vampires. If I had, I'm actually writing a screenplay for. I'm kind of arguing with myself. Should I put this in the comic form, movie form, or a TV show? If anyone has a suggestion, please leave a comment and tell me why you think that's the best medium to tell my story in. It would be a big help to me. Thanks for watching the video, and beware of Dracula and Count Coco Fang.